You likely clicked this video being quite curious on how a speedrun could be ruined by a glitch less than a month into the game's release. Before we get into the current culprit of Kong Bananzas speedrun community's divided opinions, we need to go over some of the past factors, which divided the community but only in the moment, causing temporary chaos. The first factor involves skipping the Snake Bananza ability. It gives an ability that allows you to jump super high, which would surely save time over the course of a 3D platformer speedrun, right? Well, typically yes, having the ability to let you jump higher in a platformer-based game would allow for more vertical and height-based skips. However, that's not all there is to this equation. The Snake Bananza ability takes roughly 3 minutes to unlock, which translates to around 3 to 4% of the current world record's length. The current record skips the snake, so why would anyone in the past just be divided on a potential free 2 to 3 minute time state? The answer is pure copium. People already running the game simply did not want to believe Snakeless would be faster. Snake was so useful in the run that people just didn't believe a Snakeless route would be faster. Once it was proven to be at least 2 minutes faster in a comparison video, most runners stopped being divided on this matter, but some people were still grieving over their silly little snake buddy loss. Some runners to this day don't run Snakeless any percent despite the free time saved due to a relatively difficult trick to learn before the final boss. This trick is really flashy and intimidating to look at, but I promise you it is a manageable trick to do consistently in runs. And I encourage new runners to try and learn Snakeless despite the divide this caused in the past. However, this is only the beginning of the trouble. Apparently, skipping a Bonanza wasn't enough for the community to get torn apart about, as right now the current speedrunners of Kong Bananza are currently debating the hardest thing for speedrunners to agree on at this point. I want you to all think for a second. What could speedrunners possibly argue about more than what saves time? The answer is obvious. It's the most important part of speedrun culture. Deciding the name of a skip, of course, which usually translates from who found the skip. For example, there is a movement tech used throughout the run called Fast Air Turf Surf, or FATS for short, as an acronym. However, I guess some people thought the name was dumb and wanted to name it something lame like Vaults. As a veteran speedrunner that is in multiple communities, I knew the clear solution to this conflict, or at least so I thought. When I found a skip in the game that saves 2 minutes in the groove layer, I knew what I had to do. I had to name the trick something so ridiculous that FATS would seem like a normal name that isn't worth complaining about for anyone. I found the trick, so when it came time to give it a name, it was time. I got this. Chicken jockey clip. Yup, nailed it. Nobody will ever complain about speedrun trick naming schemes again. Kong Bananzas speedrunning is saved. Okay, so I guess some of those issues are partially resolved. People know that the snake loses some time to grab, but they take the time loss knowing they're losing time. People can accept they are wrong when referring to chicken jockey clip with some other kind of lame name, right? I mean, with only 3 Bonanzas in the run, Kong and Elephant, which are unskippable, and Ostrich, which gives an amazing flutter and glide ability, which allows us to skip many long gaps. Surely there is nobody trying to take the Ostrich Bonanza away from us, right? I'll cope. Surely it won't be faster. I mean, it's not like Donkey Kong can fly without wings, right? Okay, so initially making this video was just silly, meaningless beef between speedrunners. However, less than 12 hours after making the script, in the early morning of August 6, 2025, Kong Bananzas speedruns changed forever, and possibly not for the better. A speedrunner by the name of Nicrovita posted a clip to a silly site called Twitter.com, which has absolutely no other site name alternatives, where Nicrovita simply stated, "Dude, I just figured out you can fucking fly in Donkey Kong Bananza. Game's cooked. Rip Ostrich, you bitch. More monkey shit." Needless to say, this was a big discovery, but was it a good discovery? Not exactly. Yes, this can theoretically save a lot of time being able to fly, but in order to do this trick, you need to press ZL to turf surf, then ZL again to surf cancel, then press a punch button and the jump button at the same time, all in rapid succession, over and over again, around to the beat of a metronome of around 500 beats per minute. So, does this save time? Probably. Will you get carpal tunnel from doing this while grinding for a potential speedrun world record? Also probably. This time the issue doesn't lie whether or not the tech can save time, it lies in accessibility of runners, and many runners are already pushing for a category split if this tech gets developed much further. Although I'm all for any percent being the ultimate unrestricted category to just beat the game, I think any percent restricted might be a good even ground for most speedrun. What do you think about these discoveries? Do you think it'll ruin the speedrun? Do you think it has its own place in a separate, unrestricted run? Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you like this video, consider hitting the subscribe button. I definitely want to make more speedrun related content in the future, and watching the silly YouTube number go up is the best way to give me motivation to do so. Thanks for watching, and I hope we meet again in the algorithm soon. Posture check, and I'll talk to y'all later.